y'all. Good morning. So, to continue on, she should heal her, right? That's what we're talking about with this new 5-part series thing, right? So, yesterday I kind of spoke about what that means, she should heal her, and what those different levels are, who she is, who you are right now, and who her would be, right? Hello, good morning. So let me break it down a little bit further. Who is she? When I say she should heal her, meaning she, the version of you that you desire to be, right? That version of you that when you sit by yourself and you really contemplate on how you want to show up in the world, the things that you want to accomplish in life, the standards that you have for yourself, the kind of relationship that you truly desire as a woman, the kind of mother that you want to be, the kind of person who shows up in different ways in the community, or your purpose, right? In your career, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? When God created you, who did He create you to be, right? Uh, that's she, right? That's that portrait of this person, of the ultimate confidence, right? When you are operating in your full capacity, your gifts, your strengths, your talents, right? When your confidence is aligned, that is when you are operating in what I call the she, right? That person. So when I'm referring to she, that's who I'm talking about, is that lady. So when you're sitting back and you're daydreaming, or before you go to sleep and you're envisioning the type of life that you want, what does she look like? What does she stand for? What would she accept in her life? How does she move? How does she make decisions? When she gets angry, how does she resolve those issues? Right? So those are all of the questions that, you should be asking yourself when you're aspiring to be this person. Because if you never sit and think about how this person shows up and how they move, how they go about life, how they make their decisions, you will never reach that ultimate goal of becoming the woman, the person that you intend to be, the woman that is fulfilling her callings, the woman that fulfills her obligations to self first. Because that's another thing. If you don't fulfill your obligations to yourself, if you are not true to who you are, how can you expect someone else to be true to you? Right? So what she does when you're operating from a she position, right? The ultimate woman of who you want to be, that representation, she always pours into herself first, right? So it's kind of like that analogy that people use. So when, you're full, your cup is over full, right? Then that means that you can have extra to give everyone else. So as long as your cup is full, you can give to everyone else. So what she does is say this: what's inside of the cup is for me. So I'm filling up me first, and then everything else that spills over from my life, that's what I can offer to someone else. So when you're going through something like a divorce, a separation, breakup, things of that sort, long term, so often we're drained, right? Where our cup is pretty much on E, right? If there's a word for below E, that's typically where, we are during this divorce process. So it is totally okay, and I've said this several times, to be selfish with your time at this time, because you have to pour into your cup first in order for you to show up for other people. As women, that's just what we do. We're caretakers, right? We're mothers, we're wives, we're caterers, typically. And so what we do is we um, what is it, overreach or stretch, right? Overstretch ourselves to the point where we just can't handle anything else. It's like a rubber band, right? And we're just pulling it to the max. And that's where a lot of, us are in the divorce process. Is I'm dealing with him. I'm dealing with children. I'm dealing with family. I'm dealing with friends. I'm dealing with trying to make sure that these finances, line up, right? I'm dealing with so much at this point, and I feel like I'm just expanded to the max. I get it. I hear you guys. I'm having these conversations with you every day. I totally understand. I'm seeing the tears. I'm I'm hearing the pain in your voice and on the DMs, so I get it. But the thing that we have to remember, ladies, is this. We have to get to a place of surrenderance. One, we have to surrender to just what is. And understand that I'm not going to be able to fix everything right now. But what I do know is that unless I fill my cup up first, unless I take some time to get myself right, I won't be able to have the capacity to take care of all of these other things that I need to do. So right now, I need to spend some time on getting me together, envisioning the person that I want to be, because who I am right now, which is you, which I'll be talking about tomorrow, the person who you are dealing with all of this right now, she's not cutting it, right? She's going kind of crazy at this moment right now because her emotions are up and down. One minute she's okay, the next minute she's down here. She might be doing real good on Monday, and then Tuesday she gets a call, or the paperwork comes in, the divorce decree comes in, or the negotiations are taking place, or the kids may say something, and you're right back to what I used to call them, kind of still do, my bathroom floor moments, right? When I'm on the floor crying, well, not anymore, but when I was going through the divorce process, that's what it was. Um, we want to, hello, we want to make sure that, let me clear that out. So we want to make sure that we limit as much as possible our bathroom floor moments. And the way to do that is, instead of focusing on what's going on in your life currently, the problems, the issues, the he didn't do this, the hurt behind the disappointment of what you feel like is a failed, marriage, or the kids being disrespectful, or the family members who don't quite understand where you're coming from, right? Or the loneliness that you feel. Instead of focusing on that, instead of your attention being there, have your attention focused on where you are going, right? Your future. Where do you want to be? You already know where you are, right? You know where you are, and where you are is not a pretty place. Where you want to be is somewhere different. So how do I get from where I am right now to where I want to be? Well, unless you take some time and envision the where you want to be, the ideal woman who you want to represent, who you want to walk in with and in their shoes, it's never going to happen, right? So take some time today, ladies, to take out your pen, some paper, maybe a pencil, and just start writing out. No, not a pencil, do a pen, because you start erasing stuff with a pencil, right? With a pen, it's solid, it's there, you just let it flow, right? So take out some paper, your pen, start writing down the attributes of the woman of who you want to be. How should she respond? How would she respond, right? Let me put it in an analogy. You get a phone call from your ex, and he says, I'm not going to be able to pick up the kids this week because I'm just not, whatever the excuse is. Before you respond, let's do this. Okay. Put down the phone, be with yourself for a minute, and ask yourself, how would she respond? So would she get upset? Would she text him back, in a rampage? You always do this. You always this, and that. Or would she handle it a different way? And then look at, how would you handle it right now? You in your present state, what you want to do right now, what you typically would do, how do you handle it? And how are the two different, right? So now she comes from a place of wisdom. She's going to come from a place of, is this issue going to affect me a year from now, 6 months from now? Him not picking up the kids this week, is it going to affect my life in the next year, in 6 months, whatever? Probably not. But if it is, then okay, you have, full right to figure out how to handle that situation peacefully, right? And negotiate, do whatever you need to do to compromise to the situation. However, if it's not going to affect your life in any capacity 6 months down the line, why give it the energy? Spend that energy on focusing on the life and the person that you want to create, the life that is waiting for you, the life that God intended you to live, the life that God created you to live, right? Focus your energy there, because when you focus your energy there, everything else, I promise you, comes into alignment. You cannot go somewhere that you don't spend the time planning. It's kind of like getting in your vehicle and typing in the GPS, but only typing in where you are, right? It's only operating from your current location, but it doesn't have a destination point. How can your car, how can GPS, how can it navigate you to a place that you haven't identified yet? Same thing with your life. If you have not taken the time to identify with and where you want to be, how, ladies, can you expect to change anything in your life or to get to that better state, right? So that's what I want to leave you with today. Like I said, I'm trying my hardest to have these lives go 10 minutes or less. I even got a timer this time, right? Because these lives have been going on for way too long. I'm talking about 10 minutes and they've been like 19, 18 minutes, almost double the time, because I know I can get long-winded just because I'm so passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I believe in what I do because I've seen the results personally in my own life and in so many other women's lives. And if you follow the tools, if you follow the strategies that I'm giving to you, I promise you, you will see radical change in your life. You will hit those benchmarks, right? You will not only see change in your life, but you'll stay there. You won't have that up and down. True healing takes effort. It takes strategy. It takes tools, and it takes principles that you have to now live by. You are changing the synaptic connections in your brain. You are making sure that you are changing the way that they fire and wire so that you truly change the way that you react. Your reactions are all stemming from here, right? Your brain. That's where all of it starts taking place, right? But you have, okay, see, I'm going over. All right. That's another topic for a different day. Anyhow, keep the DMs coming, keep the questions coming. If you have any questions about the Free and Clear program, as always, DM me with the word details and you will automatically get sent the website that you can go to and a free video, actually a free mini course that you can look at and kind of get a little bit of a better idea of the program. And again, I'm always available in the chats. I love having the conversations with you, ladies, so keep them coming. I love you. Please take some time today and think about, envision, sit with, visualize your ideal self. You know, if you want to give her another name, give her another name if that's what you want to do, right? But I call her she, alrighty? So anyhow, I will speak with you tomorrow. Be back on here same time. Talk to you later. Have a blessed day. Love you.